Thank Me Later community. I am so excited to introduce to some of you, most of y'all already know her, of course, Miss Rashan Ali.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, and a lot of you may or may not know, Rashan, of course, is a mom and mom of Bailey, who is a 10th grader.
Wow.
I know, counting it down. And
No.
Rashawn is on the journey with us, figuring out and navigating this whole financial aid and scholarship journey. So thank you, Rashawn, for being with us and being open and candid with us about you and Bailey's journey. We are so happy that you're here today.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to dive deep into all this information and hear what the beautiful Miss Desiree has to tell me. I am ready.
That's a huge compliment coming from that fine vessel there.
So Bailey's ready?
She is. I mean,
Yeah.
she's trying to like figure out who she is and what she wants to do. Like I said, we have something in place, but all knowledge
Right.
is good knowledge.
And where does she want to go to school?
So she has not decided that. Of course, she's very interested in FAMU and Howard, but we're still wide open. We're still wide open. I think she's more of a Howard girl, when it comes to HBCUs for sure.
All
My baby
right.
girl is a Rattler for sure. My baby girl's a Rattler. you know, she
You
looks
gotta get at
turned
least
up like her
one
mama.
in. You
She
gotta
turned
get
up
at
like
least
her mama.
one.
She turned up. She turned up.
She turned up like her mama.
She ready. She stay ready.
Ready. You ready?
So
Um,
as Bailey's mom, what do you see for her? What do you think you know her well enough to know where you see her?
she's right and left brain, which is it's a true gift.
Right.
But then right and left brain people are so gifted and talented at so many things.
Right.
Whether obviously science and technology, and then she draws really really well. So
Okay.
she's into anime and all of that. So she
That's my
loves illustration and things like that. So we've tapped into her artistry, so all the pins that she wants and all the little gadgets where she can upload her illustrations and drawings. I just want her to believe in her work.
Mm.
That's the thing, getting her to, because I'm over here like, man, we can start a business. Like we can have $1 billion right now. I was like, you got to let mommy use her platform. People love to sew into young people, and I'm like, let's do some t-shirts for Cool Sword, because she can go from doing anime to doing black girls with big afros and big lips and
Right.
and all this gorgeous art. And I'm like, she won't let me show it though.
Right.
She won't let me show it.
Mm.
This
So just trying to figure out who she is and what she wants to do next. That's been difficult. And then allowing them to become, while trying to guide, while standing back. So you all as mothers know,
Yeah.
because you want them to be their own person.
Right.
But you also are like, hey man, we got to figure something out.
That's right. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
during this time is when the other authentic voice comes in, where there is the godmother, the other person in the community that runs a program that supports her wishes and desires, that co-signer
Right.
to her dream. Because at some point in time, sometimes it's 14, 16, they tap out in terms of wanting to hear from us. Our opinions no longer matter. Actually, we're stupid. We've never experienced anything in our lives.
Right.
So having that opportunity for another voice to be at the table,
Yes.
I bet you she might listen, or putting her in that entrepreneurial program or activity where student startups searching for that particular opportunity might be a gateway to not only helping her, helping you help her see her creative vision come to life.
Right.
And then it gives you an opportunity to fall back as a mom and just be a mom. I know at one point in time in my process, I made it clear to myself, I need help. I need to bring in additional resources.
Right.
So for my kids, Vox Teen Atlanta would be a
Yeah.
good, I know you know about that, Rashan, that would be a good outlet for, because there are other adults in there developing her. And I had to just be mom. be the cheerleader, and just say all of the important things to encourage the dream. But I think
Right.
bringing in that other voice at this point, that might be a good key.
Right. And you're so right because, I have a nonprofit, Sporty Girls. And when I tell you to this day, they're young women now and they call me and tell me how the program changed their lives. And they
Right.
speak to me and I get mothers to this day. And my greatest fear, and which brings me to tears at times, is like, I will have had more impact on other people's children than my own. And that's how I feel because you feel like you're like, are they listening? Is it sinking in?
But the beauty about what you do, because
They
I'm
are
not gonna
listening.
lie, I was trying to get Sky and Sporty Girls too, and so I know all about Sporty Girls. But
Oh,
by
awesome.
you pouring into others,
She sees that.
someone is going to pour into
Yours,
yours.
yeah.
You
That's the
know,
payoff.
that's
Yeah.
it.
That's the payoff.
Uh huh.
And yeah,
Right.
I want you to know that as a mom because it does come full circle. It does.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. And the only other thing I want to tell you as a mom, our youngest son Cameron was an athlete, and it got difficult. The better that he got. And because when he was in the 11th grade, I think he was number one in the US, number 9 in the world for the 800. So we were traveling literally around the world with him. And I was trying so hard just to be his mother that I overcorrected
Mm,
because he needed me as his mother, but he also needed another part of me. But I was just holding on to the mother role. And I knew I wasn't his coach. I knew that wasn't my place. But now that he's 27, I can kind of look back and say there's definitely a few things where I would have stepped in just a little bit more because I think he needed more than just
mm,
me being in that mother role.
Yeah.
So
mm.
I think the seasons change and we have to listen a little differently. I don't think I was listening the way that I should have been listening
Right.
because there's just so much going on. You got another kid, you're working, you're running a household, you got a husband, you got all this is
Right.
going on. And I just had so much going on. I don't think I was just fully listening to him.
Mm.
And I think there's a natural tension too between mothers and daughters when they're
Oh
trying
my
to,
God.
Yes.
find their
Look at
wings.
Rashawn.
Yeah. Okay, we want to go there. Okay. Yes.
It is something
It is
else.
something. It's a whole. So as much as I could fall back, fortunately, full transparency moment. When Janai and I met, she was receiving an award, and she shared about her adoption journey.
Right.
And my daughter was adopted. I had
Oh, wow.
longed for someone to intercede, to be a mentor to her. So here she is. She's seated next to me. So that was just a God moment.
Right.
We were
Right.
supposed to meet. And I reached over and touched her hand, and I said, "My daughter is adopted."
Right.
And Janai said, "Give me your number." No, first thing she said, "Is she okay?"
Right.
And she said, "Give me your number." So I had to turn my daughter over to Janai at that moment.
Wow.
I had to
Wow.
trust that process. Sight unseen, I did not know
We had never
her,
met. Yeah. We had never met.
but I knew that was the moment. And
Yes.
she had Sky at the radio.
Right.
Let me be clear. Janai was when Sky got accepted into North Carolina A&T. I said, Janai, can you come to Admitted Students Day? Janai was there giving the Aggie Pride, right? Helping Sky
Wow.
practice. And so that's the point that I'm actually making. I needed her in that moment. It was more important for me to have Janai at the table than actually me at the table.
Wow.
And to
Wow.
give my daughter over to someone that I could trust that
Right.
could guide her additionally.
Right.
That's where we are. That's where you are.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And we've got a nice village. My best friend is her godmother. And so I'm just going to tap into Jenny a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I've kind of alluded to it. I was like, yo, I need you to come get her and just talk to her, But now, after this conversation, I'm definitely going to be like, yo, I need you to like make some time, put it in your schedule where
Yeah.
you all go and talk because they're both creative. Jen's an entrepreneur.
Right.
She's single. She doesn't have any children. So she's super creative. And it's much like Jenny. And I'll tell you this story. When Bailey was 7, I was driving her home and I was like, when you get married and have children, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, what if I don't want to do that? What if I don't want to be like Gami? Gami is Jenny.
Right.
But for the first time when she was 7 years old, I realized that they are going to be their own person.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether
we can do all that, they're still going to be.
Yeah.
And she told me in that moment that that does not define a woman. Having the things,
Right.
the big house and the fenced in yard and the dog and the husband and the children. She saw her godmother who lives a full life,
Right.
full, fruitful life,
Right.
who doesn't have anything like I have.
Right.
But she equated that to, I like that life.
She liked that.
And
That's
from that point on,
beautiful.
I was like, whatever she decides to do,
Yeah.
whether she has a husband, a partner, or whatever it is she is, I am okay because she embraces who she is even at an early age.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
amazing.
trying to continue to cultivate that.
Right.